Hi, welcome back to the series. Now today I'm going to talk a little bit more about Feng Shui. Now I always have this concern from students of mine as well as some other people from my blog followers and things, people like that. They always ask me the question that what is the difference between Sangha and San Yuan Feng Shui? Now to some of you who may be first time listening to this and you're not very familiar with Feng Shui, so let me tell you from that perspective. From my perspective is that Feng Shui is a very big umbrella. It's a very big subject, right? It's a very wide subject, because within this stream of Feng Shui, there are maybe probably more than 100 different variations, right? But they all fall under a big generic name they call Feng Shui. And within this big generic name, all these other Feng Shui methods can be generally divided into three major streams. One is the New Age. So I'm not going to talk about the New Age. The other two is the traditional ones, the Sangha and the San Yuan system. So primarily, what are the differences between San Yuan and Sangha practitioners? Okay, how would they react differently to the same property? Now, in theory, San Yuan and Sangha, when it comes to landforms, okay, landform, most of the time they agree, meaning that there is a small variation between the emphasis in landform with regards to Sangha or San Yuan Feng Shui. Where they differ a lot is in the formulas. It is the formula. Therefore, if you look at the San Yuan and the Sangha law pan, the geomancy compass, you can find the rings, most of them are very different. And because that's where they differ. Now, conceptually, Sangha Feng Shui is derived or is very much centered on two major concepts. Okay, the first concept is called the four formations. Four formations. What are the four formations? They have the metal formation. They have the wood formation. They have the fire formation, as well as they have the water formation. Okay, so there are four formations. So because in Sangha Feng Shui, any type of formation will naturally fall into one of them. Okay, so the practitioner will need to ascertain, okay, which formation does this property or this landform falls into. Okay, now once they have determined that, then they rely on the second theory. They call it the 12 stages. The 12 stages is to tell us the good and bad. So what type of energy is this property receiving? Is it good energy? Is it bad energy? How do you know? So they will depend on the 12 stages to tell. So these are the two major concepts that is widely used in Sangha, regardless of any type of Sangha. Because Sangha, there are many schools, right? There are probably a lot of sections or different sub-bodies of Sangha. But nonetheless, they cannot run away from these two major concepts. Now, San Yuan is a little bit different. They focus on the 9 stars. Okay, the 9 stars. You know there are 9 stars in San Yuan. Okay, and the other one is the trigrams. Okay, the trigrams. So trigrams can be, sometimes you can use a trigram, then sometimes they use 2 trigrams. So the 2 trigrams, they call it the hexagrams, right? So whether trigrams or hexagrams, well, virtually they fall under the same classification. So these are the two major emphases. That is why San Yuan system, you have things like Shen Gong Flying Star, Yun Hong Facing, yeah, Yun Hong Tai Hua, which uses the trigrams, right? Also there's another one called the Yun Hong Lok Fa, the 6th method. Now, sixth method is not the actual name. The actual name comes from a classic, but sixth method is popularly known, especially in Taiwan. Maybe because they want to differentiate with other streams of sixth method, so they call it the sixth method of Shen Kong. Okay, but actually it comes from a classic, a different classic, which I do not know why they do not refer to the original classic name, but they call it the sixth method. Then Sangha, there are also many schools. Okay, San Yuan, of course, even you talk about flying stars, there are many different flying star schools. There's not only one, there are multiple flying star schools. So not all flying stars are the same. Same with Sangha. Not all Sangha have the, even though they rely on these two major concepts, it's not all the Sangha school apply the theory similarly. There are two major schools. And okay, from here you have another two subdivisions. One is the one who emphasize more on the external land. The other one emphasize more on the internal chi. Okay, so there are also two major. From here, there are two major way they apply Sangha Feng Shui. So one focus on the external, one focus on the internal schools. So there are two, again, see many variations inside. Okay, another differences that's worth noting is that in Sangha Feng Shui there is no time factor. No time factor, meaning to say that once you set the formation, unless the external environment change, otherwise this property or this house, this temple, this factory should prosper 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, right? So that is the concept of Sangha. But in San Yuan recognizes the time dependency. So therefore, they apply different theory. For example, there are some school of Shen Kong or San Yuan system that uses the 3-cycle 9-period system. Then there's another school that uses the 2-cycle 8-period system. I'm saying basically, maybe you don't understand what is called a cycle and a period, but basically it's a time unit. That's the meaning of San Yuan. The word yuan is a unit. Okay, 3 different units. So these are the 3 different time periods, for example. So there is the concept of time is embedded in either one of these systems. So up to here you can see, even at a very broad level, you already see that there are many different differences already. And of course within the external there are many branches. Internal Sangha, many branches. So there are many branches. Okay, so basically these are the 2 major differences between the Sangha and the San Yuan school. Now, then the next question that people always ask me, so which is better? Actually, there's no which is a better system, because number one, each system have their own purpose. So you must understand the theory very well in order for you to understand that under which circumstances that you should use which different system to do it. Okay, it's not like you mix, okay, maybe half a building I use Sangha to do, half the building I use San Yuan to do. That's not the right way. Okay, I know many people do that, but it's not the way to do it. So you must understand the situation you're facing as a consultant. Then you need to pick up the right method to apply for that situation. There's no superior method, it's only the right method, right? So that is the very important thing. And of course, as I said before, there are many different schools of flying star, right? There are many different schools of Sangha, but you must find the right theory, follow the right master, the right lineage. Then you get the right theory, then you have very high success rate. Otherwise your success rate, it becomes like sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it. You know, it's like it's a little bit of gaming. You know, that's not the right way to do Feng Shui, right? Because Feng Shui can change people's energy. You change your energy, you change the outcome. That's what I've always been telling people. You change your energy, you change the outcome. You get good energy, you get good outcome in the future. You get bad energy, you get bad outcome in the future. That is the law. It's not a theory, it's a law, right? It's a law. So basically, that is how San Yuan and Sangha differs from each other. Okay, so again, I emphasize there's no one best method. It is the right method for the situation in question. Okay, now if you like to listen to a case that I want to talk about, a real case in Malaysia that I can use Sangha and San Yuan theory to explain, so remember to click like, subscribe, and the bell. Remember, the bell is very important because the bell will ring every time there's a new video. So in the next coming video, I will share with you how to use Sangha and San Yuan to explain one property and how they come and conquer the same result for that property. Now, of course, it's not always you will find two theory explaining the same property, giving the same answer result all the time. But this is one case that is, I think, is worth sharing if you like to listen. So make sure you log in, like, and subscribe. So I think that's all for today. That's all I'm going to share for today. I hope this gives you a clearer understanding of what are the differences between Sangha and San Yuan system.